Imagine it's 1971. You've got a bunch of long-haired British guys, the band Yes, crammed into a van, tearing through the Scottish Highlands. I'm talking mountains, misty lochs, dramatic skies, total, unadulterated fantasy landscape material.
Oh, I'm there. That sounds less like a road trip and more like the opening chapter of some epic rock fairy tale, like a quest for a new sound.
Exactly. And that's precisely where Jon Anderson, the lyrical maestro of Yes, starts jotting down the first lines of what would become Roundabout. He's literally gazing out the window, probably feeling a little, shall we say, elevated by the scenery and the general vibe, watching the world blur by, and the words just start flowing.
That's so poetic. I mean, mountains come out of the sky, and they stand there. Who even thinks like that while staring at a landscape? Most of us are just thinking, are we there yet, or where's the next coffee stop?
Right? But that iconic line, that vivid imagery, it came straight from that moment. He was just absolutely vibing with the raw, untamed nature of Scotland, feeling mystical, a bit trippy, and just incredibly inspired. He literally saw the mountains emerging from the low-hanging clouds and mist. It wasn't a metaphor, it was a literal description of what he was witnessing.
And you can feel that sense of wonder, that journey, in the music itself. Roundabout isn't just a song, it's an experience. It takes you on its own sonic road trip.
For real. When they eventually got back to London, the band was deep in their progressive rock phase. They were pushing boundaries, experimenting with complex structures and unconventional sounds. And Steve Howe, their guitarist, had this insane idea for the intro.
Oh, the reversed piano note. It's like the song itself is sneaking up on you backwards, and then bam! It explodes into that instantly recognizable driving bass line. It's genius.
Absolutely. It's so disorienting in the best possible way. And then, Chris Squire's bass just hits you. His tone was legendary, so thick, so rich, it almost sounded like a second lead guitar. He famously used a Gibson ES-150 hollow body bass with this crazy custom pickup, often splitting the signal to an overdriven guitar amp and a clean bass amp to get that unique, growling, almost vocal sound.
Yeah, it wasn't just laying down a rhythm, it was a melodic counterpoint, a driving force. And then you add Rick Wakeman to that mix, the guy was an absolute wizard on the keyboards. He didn't just play keys, he built entire sonic worlds.
Right? He was a virtuoso who wasn't afraid to be flamboyant. For Roundabout, he was juggling like 3 or 4 different instruments, a classic Hammond organ for that rich, swirling texture, a mini Moog for those cutting lead lines, and a mellotron for the ethereal, choir-like pads. He apparently said he wanted to make it sound like Strawberry Fields, but cosmic.
That's the kind of sentence only a true prog rock musician would utter. Strawberry Fields, but cosmic. I mean, how do you even begin to translate that into music? But he did, and it makes perfect sense when you hear it.
Totally. And then you have Bill Bruford on drums, who's just playing these intricate, jazzy rhythms that are constantly shifting, adding another layer of complexity without ever sounding busy or forced. It's like controlled chaos, all perfectly orchestrated.
Oh, Bruford. His drumming is so dynamic. He's not just keeping time, he's adding fills and accents that are almost conversational with the other instruments. It's a dialogue, a full band conversation.
Exactly. And Jon Anderson himself recounted that when they finally finished recording it and played it back on the studio speakers, he just sat there, kind of stunned, thinking, oh my gosh, it's so good. It even surprised them how cohesive and powerful it sounded.
That's got to be a wild feeling, hearing your vision, your raw ideas, come alive for the first time in that way, fully realized and sounding even better than you imagined.
Yeah, he said it felt surreal, like he couldn't quite believe it was truly happening, that they had created this massive, intricate piece of music. And honestly, that song still feels alive today. It's 8 minutes long in its album version, but every single second feels like an adventure. The vocals, the harmonies, the insane tempo changes, the instrumental breaks.
It truly is pure art. Like if the Beatles laid the groundwork for complex pop, Yes came along and built a full-blown cathedral on top of it. They expanded the very definition of what rock music could be.
Laughs, facts, and the harmonies at the end, those intricate vocal layers. They were singing this da-da-da line that when you really listen sounds like this amazing fusion of the Byrds' folk rock harmonies and the Beach Boys' intricate vocal arrangements. It's totally unexpected, but so cool.
It's like they're taking these familiar elements and twisting them into something entirely new. You hear the echoes, but it's distinctly yes.
And John even said they consciously incorporated the melody from Three Blind Mice into one of the sections, just to mess with people's expectations, to inject this playful, almost absurd element into such a serious, complex piece. It was their way of saying, we're serious, but we don't take ourselves too seriously.
That's absolutely wild. So they're out here mixing nursery rhymes, jazz fusion, classical counterpoint, and full-blown psychedelic rock. And somehow, against all odds, it not only works, but it becomes this cohesive, iconic statement.
That's the magic of Yes. Every single part of Roundabout is meticulously detailed, thoughtfully arranged, but it never ever feels forced or academic. It's organic. It's like watching a Swiss watch, all these intricate gears spinning perfectly together, creating something beautiful and functional.
Yeah, like every note knows exactly where it's going, even if the listener initially doesn't, and then it all resolves into this incredible feeling of completion and discovery. You feel like you've been somewhere.
And you know what's funny, John? The band themselves didn't think it would be a hit. I mean, it's 8 minutes long. Radio stations in the early 70s absolutely hated playing songs that long. It just wasn't done.
Right, because anything over 3 minutes was considered too long for mainstream radio. But a drastically edited single version, cut down to about 3.5 minutes, still hit number 13 on the Billboard Hot 100. That's how undeniably good it was, even in a chopped-up format.
Exactly. It broke every single rule in the book: the length, the complexity, the unconventional structure. And that's precisely what made it iconic. It opened doors for other bands to be more adventurous, to trust their audience with longer, more involved compositions.
Dude, Roundabout is like the definitive example of musical imagination run wild. It's proof that rock music can be incredibly brainy and deeply emotional at the same time. It challenges you, but it also rewards you with this incredible sonic journey.
Yeah, it's not just sound, it's pure storytelling. Every chord shift, every lyrical turn feels like you're literally turning a corner on that winding Scottish road John Anderson was writing about. It feels like discovery.
That's beautiful, man. You're getting all John Anderson on me. I might need to go write some poetry about my commute now.
Laughs. Maybe I just need some mountains and a notebook. Or maybe just a slightly more dramatic drive to work.
Or a van full of incredibly talented musicians and too much coffee. That usually helps, right?
True. Either way, that's often how these absolute masterpieces happen. A spark of inspiration, boundless creativity, and a willingness to break all the rules.
So if you love diving deep into songs that aren't just music but incredible moments in time, moments that shaped entire genres, then you need to follow us at Rock Legends 2025, Bands, Tours, and History.
Yeah, we're committed to telling the stories behind the sounds that changed rock forever, the untold tales, the legendary sessions, and the pure genius that defined generations of music.
Hit that follow button. You can find us Ultimate Rock 2025 for more deep dives, incredible band stories, and all that rock history magic that makes you want to crank it up.
Our next one's gonna absolutely blow your mind, I promise.
See you on the next track, rockers.
Keep it loud.